Hi, my name's Ethan, I'm 23. I've been living here in Rwanda since August and I've been a disciple maker here with OM and Rwanda Vineyard. In June last year, I finished my university degree. I was studying physics and astrophysics at the time. And what I really felt and what I really wanted was to just try things out, try out some of the things I'd learned, some of the things I'd seen, some of the things I'd read about, and just try them out in real life and see how it works, see where God leads me. So I didn't know where that would take me, but what I did know was the ideas of what I wanted to be doing. I wanted to be living with people, I wanted to be investing and engaging in their lives, and I wanted to be helping them on their journey with Jesus. I think it was December sometime last year, I came across an article, I came across an advert on the OM website, and it talked about being a disciple maker here on the island. And I'd never heard of Bornholm, I couldn't speak Danish at the time, but just the language that was being used, the ideas and the opportunity to really make a difference in people's lives. It spoke to me, and that's why I ended up here. When I first came here, there was a period of adjustment. I needed to learn the language, I needed to get to know people, I needed to understand how the culture worked, and so it took me some time. I think one of the first things I noticed in this church is how amazing a family it is. Everyone is together, everyone cares for one another, everyone cares about one another's lives, and they're really invested and really engaged in one another. And that's quite a special, unique kind of community. I've been in lots of churches in lots of different parts of the world, and you don't always see that. The idea that people are really there for one another, the idea that people really want the best and want to spur one another on towards Jesus. I remember before I came here, I remember reading a verse in Ephesians, and it talks about, Paul is writing to the Ephesians and he says, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you've received. And he's writing from prison. And I was just thinking, what does it look like for me to live a life worthy of the calling I've received? And for me, it was to say yes to God wherever he was going to lead me, whatever he was going to take me into, and whatever he was going to ask of me. And I've seen since coming here that yes, even though I'm an outsider, I'm able to speak into things, I'm able to help people, I'm able to pray for people. Maybe in a way that someone from here, someone who was born here, isn't able to, because I come with an outside perspective. So I think actually you don't have to look very far around you to see that there's plenty of people who have a really clear need in their lives. There are people who have addictions, there are people who have broken families, there are people who have never had anyone speaking life and truth and hope into their lives. There's people who you can see have a really clear need for Jesus, and you could be living in a comfortable place, in a comfortable country where you've got everything you need. But I've learned that you don't have to look far to see that there are people who really need Jesus. And what if you were the only person who was ever going to speak a different story into their life? That is why it's so important that we, people who know Jesus, we, people who follow him, are able to really go and speak to those around us. Maybe, like me, that means moving to another place, engaging in a new culture, learning the language, spending time with people. Maybe that just involves reaching out to the people you live with, your family, your friends at school. I don't know. But what I do know is there's a clear need. It's not just in these faraway places all around the world that we've heard of. It's right here where we are. It can be in Europe, it can be in your school, it can be in your workplace, it could even be in your church. There are places, there are people groups who really need help, who really need people who are going to walk alongside them, people who are going to help them, people who are going to speak Jesus into their lives, and not just speak Jesus, but be Jesus. Yeah, so maybe you're young like me. Maybe you've got questions, maybe you've got a longing to live your life in a way that really follows after the call God has placed on your life. And I know just what that feels like. I know that you can have doubt. Maybe you're thinking you're too young, maybe you're thinking you don't have experience, maybe you're thinking you don't have your life together. Don't worry, that's me also. The thing that matters is that we make ourselves available to Jesus, and we say yes to his call, and we follow him wherever he's going to take us. That could be to the other end of the world, it could be to your next door neighbor. I don't know, but I just want to ask you, live a life worthy of the calling you've received. What does that look like for you? Have a think about that.